everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Super Bowl dreams are on the line today on the conference championship.
So
only one team can move on.
You guys didn't hear me at all there. Great. All right. So you see that here we're facing either Seattle or Carolina in the Super Bowl if we're able to get by Buffalo.
Let's head out west and check in with our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
America's finest city on about as fine a Sunday afternoon as you're ever going to see. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Buffalo Bills and the San Diego Chargers. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach.
All right, got everything looking good here. Go ahead and pause the video. And tag Aaron, Marshall, Gavin, as Colin takes it, and now let me go ahead and okay. So Super Sim, speed, slow, jump forward, end the game. There we go.
They'll come out in the pistol.
We're gonna run it with Dilly right start, and he gets 4 or 5. Fantastic. Dilly, his stats are a little misleading from last game. If you look at his numbers, he had a rather pedestrian game. If you factor in the fact that he had that 154-yard run, if it wasn't for that, he would have had a, accident.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Well, he would have struggled to crack 100 yards rushing. He did have the touchdown, and I mean, he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage there.
And now it's third down.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well, but I think it's a combination with the Chargers.
The Bills making it to the AFC Conference Finals. That is certainly different. And I screwed up there. I hit circle, and speed is still slow. Let's go back to the end of the game. My bagel there, guys. I know it kind of threw you out of the game there for a sec. So, 5 months since my last upload on this series. Starting 3 and out. Interesting. Really busy summer. Really weird summer. Most of you will know that my old roommate Dylan moved out in the spring, and there's been a lot of adjusting here in my home and personal life. Summertime has brought a lot of running around with my mom and random errands. I've been, I wouldn't say I'm busy, but I have done a couple of things this summer. Took a couple of trips. Just this kind of fell by the wayside, and now I'm pulling a possible doubleheader if we win this game. If we lose this game, I won't. We'll get them next year when we're in Las Vegas. And Shady McCoy breaks a tackle, but still gets 6 yards. And there's Rex Ryan. He's not their coach now, but he is in this alternate universe. All right, EJ Manuel Wouldn't that be something if he could lead this team? Oh, that's a fumble.
Now the ball comes loose.
And 8 people tried picking that up. Ain't nobody pick it up until this big guy just falls on it. Sammy Watkins, so offense looking good here for Buffalo early on. And that's scary. We've done a good job of containing number 1 receivers. Number 2, number 3 receivers have been harder for us to contain, especially slot receivers and tight ends. A team with a good tight end has been our Achilles heel early on. We don't have Brock Kutsa still, so that means a couple of guys playing out of position. Colton Colby has been a beast since transitioning over to defensive end. That might be a permanent solution. I might be moving Troy to middle linebacker next season. Gonna have to see how the offseason plays out, see who retires, see who we're adding on board, and make a decision from there going forward. And Shady McCoy runs there. I didn't see how. 3 yards, I guess. 3rd and 6. And Nate Barker savoring the playing time. Dave Canone as well. He led the team in tackles last game. Troy had 2.5 sacks, a few tackles, and a touchdown with an interception. Curtis Smithers has been big for us this year too. Did not anticipate him getting 10.5 sacks on the year, but he definitely did. Gavin Breezy was another nice surprise. And hitting him in behind the pocket. I think that was either Nate Barker or might have been Curtis. Looked like Nate to me though. And they're going to punt it after getting a first down. A 2 and out. 7 and out. 6 and out. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. Nice punt. And yeah, we're going to start at the 1 yard line.
It's down close to the goal line at the 1 yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And
here we go.
Be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the
starting from the 1 yard line. Looking like we're not going to get a touchdown here, but we do have the big play capabilities. And Dilly, getting 11 yards right there. Good run. First down. Showcasing the speed and explosiveness that have made him the league's premier back in only his rookie season. So let's get talking about some real football here. Start with my Giants. I wanted to make a blog post on my new blog, breakdowns, team predictions, all that stuff. Didn't get around to it. You know, the Call of Duty beta kind of absorbed my life for 6 of the last 14 days. That really threw a wrench in my plans for that, really, honestly. But talk about the Giants at least. I see the Giants as 9 and 7, 10 and 6 if everything goes right. I think there's going to be some growing pains in that offense. We didn't fix our problems. We just added to our strengths. That's not how you turn your team into a contender. We still don't have an offensive line. We still have Eric Flowers in that offensive line. And Eric is beasting right now. Still don't have a running game. I don't believe in Paul Perkins. He's alright. I don't think he's a feature back. At least not yet. Maybe he'll grow into something in a few years, but right now he's not it. I know we still got Shane Vereen, but he's a passing down back at best in a situational offense. He's a niche at best. Evan Ingram is a nice addition. I think he'll turn into a pretty good tight end. AVG for 60 yards. What a gun as I was getting hit. What a catch as he was getting hit. That was a hell of a play.
And he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
He had two guys on him. That was a heck of a catch. Evan Ingram's a nice addition. I do believe in Brandon Marshall. But he's an alpha, man. He's an alpha just like Odell is an alpha. Shepard is... I think Shepard's hurt. But even if he is healthy, there's a lot of egos in that wide receiver core. And I do think Ingram's going to be better than people are giving him an opportunity to be. Eli loves his tight ends, and he's finally got a tight end that could catch after how many years since he's had a decent tight end in that offense. I think that'll help Eli Manning out a lot. But no offensive line, no running game. Offense is marginally better than it was last year at best. Defense, we're trotting out about the same defense as we did last year, right? If anything, it's a defense that's a year older. I doubt Landon Collins is going to get any better, even though he's a stud and is young. I think he's already hit his peak. Now it's just him staying there. Pierre-Paul is likely going to take a step back. Vernon's probably not going to change much. I don't think we've really added any big-time players in that defense. So it's just about the same as it was last year. So if the offense is only marginally better and the defense is about the same, then we're talking about matchups. And with us facing the Cowboys, who I don't think are going to be much worse than they were last year, I see the Cowboys at about 10-6. Everything goes right, 11-5. I see the Cowboys winning that division, and I see a juggle for the number 2 between the Giants and the Eagles. How's it going, Preston Blackburn? Welcome to the stream. Here we're watching a fake football game while discussing real football currently. It's pretty cool stuff, you know. Not really cool stuff, but I think it's interesting. My friends think it's interesting. Whatever. Dylan gets 3 or 4 yards there. Cowboys, I don't see them really dropping too much at all. I do think last year's 13-3 was it that they went was kind of a fluke. But Ezekiel is a good running back. But for as much as he's good, the offensive line is better. I'm not saying he's a product of the offensive line. I'm saying that his numbers were definitely boosted by the offensive line. He's not an MVP caliber running back yet in his career. He will be. As long as he doesn't end up getting banned from the NFL or something in 2 or 3 years, because that guy's crazy. Alfred Morris and the gang. I don't know who else they got in that wide receiver on that running back core. But Alfred Morris, I've always liked him in the Washington Redskins offense, which isn't much of an offense. So I think he can excel and at least serve as a serviceable replacement for Zeke while Zeke is serving that 6-game suspension. If anything, I think Zeke might help Dak Prescott find his rhythm in that offense. Not that Dak struggled last year, but getting him early season reps and letting him kind of take a breather and heading back to it, he's going to develop more chemistry with Des Bryant. He's going to develop more chemistry with Jason Witten and his slot receiver there, Cole Beasley. He's already got that connection established. So their offense isn't going anywhere. Their defense might have got a little worse, or it might have got a little better. I don't know. The same thing with the Giants defense, man. They didn't add or lose any big pieces. So I don't see the Cowboys slipping too much on the top of the division. The Eagles, another year of Carson Wentz learning that offense. they could improve. They could take a jump forward. I see them flip-flopping with the Giants in second place, and the Washington Redskins taking the rear. Although the Redskins, if somebody gets hurt on the Giants or the Eagles, a big piece, Redskins could sneak into third or even second if both teams have bad luck. That's the NFC East, man. AFC East, I'll talk about them because Dylan's a Broncos fan. The Chargers are probably going to be fringe at best, 8-8 maybe. I do love me some Melvin Gordon. I do like Phillip Rivers. They still got Antonio Gates, I think. And that guy in their defense, man. Who was he? He missed the first part of the season, but ended up coming in and was strong. I think he's a defensive end. But I think another year of him, he's going to see a jump in his efficiency. 10-0 already. This is looking like a wash. Broncos released T.J. Ward. That's going to hurt their defense, you'd think. But the Broncos didn't really add or subtract any big pieces. That was probably the biggest move outside of adding what's his face that they had a couple years back. The guy who was supposed to replace Peyton Manning but wanted too much money. He's not going to be a starter. They did add Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles was a low risk, high reward. If he's able to bounce back and even be 75% of the Jamal Charles that he was a couple years back, and stay healthy, that's going to add a potent running game to a revamped offensive line. They tweaked it. I think their offensive line is better than it was last season. Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders are still in town. Chris Harris Jr. is still in town. Aqib Talib is still in town. Von Miller's still in town. I think everything goes right for that team. They're looking at 11-5. I think realistically 9-7 or 10-6 is more of an option. And I see the Raiders right around the same range. Raiders, Derek Carr coming back. They still got a really good wide receiving core. They added Marshawn Lynch, who I don't think is going to be elite, but will be a red zone beast. Bring him in third and shorts, he'll explode. Defense is still an issue for Oakland, although they still have, is it Khalil Mack that they have on their team, or is it somebody else? But he's a beast. The rest of the defense not so much. So I see the Raiders and the Broncos jockeying for number 1 and 2. The Chargers probably looking at third place in the division. And who else rounds out that division, man?
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now San Diego getting set to go. And fortunate to get,
I think it's the Texans, but I'm probably wrong. No, Texans are in the AFC South. The Chiefs. How did I forget about the Chiefs? Man, that's a tough division. Chiefs still have a good defense. Their offense probably took a step back, and Dylan just went off right there. I think we're going to the Super Bowl, guys. Chiefs, I think they're a step behind the Raiders and the Broncos. I think them and the Chargers are in about the same boat. They're looking 8-8, maybe if all things go wrong, 7-9 or so. That's a really tough division, though. No team in that division, I think, is bad. I think the Chargers and the Chiefs each are division contenders in any other division, really. Well, outside of maybe the AFC East.
This presentation of the NFL on
let's just go through here. I'll keep talking football. Make this video seem... We already talked about the NFC East and where I think everybody is there. NFC North, you got the Lions, the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings. The Bears are in development hell right now. They're not doing anything. They're still rebuilding. They're probably finishing in last place realistically. I think the Packers win the division, if only because Aaron Rodgers is in town. They're probably looking 9-7, 10-6 in that range. Lions and Vikings are second and third. You can flip them probably either way. Matt Stafford's pretty dope. The Vikings had a good running back though, didn't they? Hold up. I know they lost Adrian Peterson, but that's not going to matter too much going forward.
Back to throw here, and that is incomplete.
Man. Yeah, I think I'd have to go with the Lions over the Vikings. So that's probably going to go Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears. Realistically, that sounds about right.
And his kick here is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they recover the fumble, but could not.
Who the heck got Leonard Fournette? The Jaguars got Leonard Fournette. Let's go to the NFC South. You got the Panthers, the Saints, the Falcons, and the Bucks. Buccaneers had a really good offseason, man. They added Deshaun Jackson to go with Mike Evans. That's a solid 1-2 punch. They still got Doug Martin, even though he's suspended. Jameis Winston he's the real deal, man. Defense, they've added pieces. TJ Ward being one of them. We got 3 comments. Let's check that out. I got you, cash out, bros. After this game. Talking about the Bucks. Buccaneers, they're probably going to fight with the Panthers for... Wow, that is a tough division, too. The Falcons are good. They were just in the Super Bowl. The Saints have Drew Brees, and if Adrian Peterson bounces back, that's a scary offense. The Panthers, I believe in that Christian McCaffrey, and I think they're going to bounce back after a weak season last year. Man, that's anybody's division. Just crazy, because you're talking about a team that has probably the best wide receiver in football in Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan throwing to him, and a solid defense in Atlanta. I'm not even taking a guess at that division. Anybody there could go 10-6. Anybody there could have a bad season. They're just an injury away. If I had to pick, I'd probably say that the Panthers are going to bounce back pretty strong. But I'm going to have to go with the Falcons. Julio Jones is too much of a beast, and Matt Ryan is still probably, statistically, the best quarterback in football not named Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he doesn't have Tom Brady's leadership or cachet. But Matt Ryan is so good, man. Just not in the clutch. Not in the clutch. Matt Ryan is not good in the playoffs. NFC West should be a little bit easier for me to put a barometer on. I think the Seahawks realistically take that division. Maybe 9-7. Cardinals right behind them, maybe 8-8. And the 49ers and the Rams will both be jockeying for 6-10. best case scenario for either of those teams. Maybe. That's the NFC. So I got the Cowboys taking the East, the Packers taking the North, Falcons taking the South, the Seahawks taking the West, and there's 2 wildcard teams, right? So one-handed catch by AVG, and I am beasting 8 and 8 for 11. 2 big passes to AVG. If I had to pick 2 wild card teams, probably the Buccaneers. Buccaneers and the Giants. What's up, AJ the boss? I got you, AJ. After this game, though, I'm not even paying attention to this game. I just know we're steamrolling this Buffalo Bills squad. Nothing shocking there. So let's zoom over to the AFC. Actually, let's talk. Way too early here to talk about this, but who's coming out of the NFC? I'm really looking at it. It's either the Falcons or the Packers. And I know that Packers is a weird choice because they haven't really been taking any deep runs, but man, you can't undersell how much a good quarterback like Aaron Rodgers does. I mean, there's 17 weeks until the playoffs even hit us. Injuries, players coming out of nowhere, all that stuff is gonna play into, you know, what I'm saying the league is going to look like in 17 weeks is going to be a completely different story than what the league is actually going to look like. It'll be interesting to see, go back and watch this video and hear me talk about all this and see how much I'm getting right and how much I'm getting wrong. Note that I'm not looking at any stats here. I'm literally just looking at a list of teams in each standing, each division, and saying this is where I think the teams are going to end up and why I think they're going to end up there. And I'm a Giants fan, and I got friends that are Cowboys and friends that are Broncos fans. So those are the only 3 teams I have any intimate knowledge of on personnel and all that stuff. I got my favorite players and stuff and players that I've been watching. But mostly, those 3 teams I pay attention to. The rest of the league is white noise that I have an idea of what's going on. But if you ask me to tell you what's going on for real, fucked if I don't even know who the Bills coach is next year. Like, some guys could tell you that. I can't. Whatever. You look at the AFC East. I mean, nobody's coming out of that division except for the Patriots. The Jets are probably going to be lucky if they win a game. I'm being harsh there. They're probably going to win a few games. But the Dolphins are, I mean, they got Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler's really good. No, the Dolphins, that's such a tough sell, man, because they always feel like they're just ready to burst out of that bubble. And then every year something happens and they end up just doing nothing. But the Dolphins do have Ndamukong Suh. I've always been a fan of Ndamukong Suh. People call him a dirty player. That's whatever, man. If you play dirty, you play dirty. It's football. What the fuck? So yeah, the Jets and the Dolphins I think are too much of a mess, and the Bills aren't competing for a championship. Sammy Watkins, that was a big play for them. Too bad they're playing down 16 right now. So that division is the Patriots, and nobody's challenging them there. They're on autopilot this year again. The AFC North is a different story. You got the Bengals, who have that offense. Andy Dalton still is there. He's a good regular season QB. I don't see him being a guy that's going to bring you to the deep in the playoffs. But I mean, every year they seem to make noise in the regular season and then fall off at the end of the year. So I mean, they're probably realistically 8-8. The Steelers, I mean, I think that's their division. Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, and probably his last season. If not his last season, his second to last season. Their defense is still a mess, but man, their offense has a chance to just be legendarily good. The Ravens, man, what can I tell you about the Ravens? I don't even know how good their defense is. I know you hear that their defense is good, but I don't know who's on their defense or who. Outside of Joe Flacco, who's on the Ravens? I know some teams got a ridiculously good pass rusher. Maybe he's on the Ravens. I don't. I think the Ravens are kind of in the same boat as the Bengals are, right? Like they're a few pieces away from being legit contenders, but they're not bad teams. But they're not on the Steelers level either. The Browns are the Browns. They're not winning any titles, man. Let's be real. They're probably not making it to the playoffs. They're probably not going 8-8 even. So that's them. The AFC South is a different division right now. You got the Colts, who have Andrew Luck. He's the best QB in the division. And the best QB usually is the team that wins the division, right? But I mean, the Colts are a mess too. I think they win in spite of Andrew Luck, because Andrew Luck is so good. They win in spite of the surrounding pieces around Andrew Luck. But Andrew Luck does have T.Y. Hilton. I don't think they have a running game. I don't think they have an offensive line. I don't think they have a defense. They're probably an 8-8 team. Jacksonville's got Leonard Fournette. I think he's hurt. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't looked into it. But I do think Leonard Fournette is special. I do think Leonard Fournette is going to be the second coming of Adrian Peterson. And I don't think that's... I think, if anything, that might be underselling his potential. He's straight up... He's something different, man. Leonard Fournette, I think, has all the tools needed. If he could stay healthy and not take the Ezekiel Elliott route where he's surrounded in controversy and might be jeopardizing games of his career. Not that I don't know anything about Leonard Fournette's character either. I'm not saying he's going to do that or that he has the potential to do that. But if he isn't that kind of guy, he has the makeup, the physical and football IQ makeup to be Adrian Peterson good, man. I think Jacksonville can make some noise. Not that Blake Bortles is special. Blake Bortles might be one of the 3 worst starting quarterbacks in football. How he is... He's not bad. Like, I'm not saying Blake Bortles is bad. He's not a bad quarterback. But I don't think he's a starter for a contender. The Titans have Marcus Mariota and a bunch of other guys. I really can't tell you anything about this division, man. The Texans have J.J. Watt and Lamar Miller. I can tell you that much. The Texans might win that division if J.J. Watt comes back at even 75% of what he was last season, before his injury last year. They had the other big-time guy who I always believed in, and he finally had a breakout year last year. Is E.J. Manuel going to run the distance? No. can't think of his name. But I mean, the Texans have the best defense in the division. They have a good running game, and they have, is it DeAndre Hopkins that they have there in town? He's a big time playmaker at wide receiver, and he plays special teams, and he's not bad there. I think the Texans could take that division. I think Jacksonville is going to be improved. I think the Colts have the best quarterback in the division, and they'll be all right as a result. And man, I think the Titans are just kind of. I think the Texans are just a step above everybody else in that division, and everybody else is kind of right in the same area. So, what do I got? If I got the NFC, so in the AFC, I got the Patriots, the Steelers, the Texans, the Broncos, and then for my two wildcard teams, the Raiders and Jacksonville, because I believe in Leonard Fournette, and
nowadays they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so
man,
old. You're only
I think that offense could be something different with a traditional running game too. Honestly, I have to pick between two teams. It's the Broncos and the Patriots, man. Maybe the Steelers. It's a three-headed horse in the AFC. But the Patriots got better, man. Like, the Patriots got better. They added that cornerback, and Gronkowski's coming back. They added Dwayne Allen, who's not bad. I don't know if they still have Martellus Bennett or not. I don't think they do, but they might. But either way, I just don't see anybody stopping the Patriots. I'll go with the field, but my way too early pick is probably going to have to be New England. And we're probably going to see them either go up against the...
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a
there they go.
touchdown.
Either the Packers or the Falcons. I mean,
Final seconds of the first half, and the Bills draw a bit closer.
That's one of the better examples of clock management.
Patriots are winning the Super Bowl. I don't see anybody stopping them. I mean, the season happens. Somebody might get hurt. You know, maybe Tom Brady, after only playing 12 games last season, gets burnt out. But I don't see it happening, man. Their defense got better. Their offense is going to be better because Gronk's going to be there. Like, or what do you want? What do you want? Like, the best team in football got better, and nobody else took significant steps forward to challenge them. I think the team that's going to make the biggest jump is the Buccaneers, but they're just in such a tough division that it's not going to translate over to their win-loss. Maybe it will. Maybe I'm just a cynic, but the Falcons didn't lose a step, man. The Panthers got better. The Saints might have got better. We had to see. We had to see where the Saints are now with Adrian Peterson. But that's where that... Who took a big step forward? I think the biggest step forward was the Buccaneers, and they're not a contender. So it's the Patriots and the Falcons again. Maybe Aaron Rodgers could have a big game and stop the Falcons. Maybe Zeke comes back with a vengeance and the Cowboys ride that momentum and go into the Super Bowl. But unless the Patriots face the Broncos, and the Broncos, I mean, because, I mean, that Broncos secondary defense is still just something special, man. I mean, Harris and Talib and those guys, and Von Miller pushing the front. I know they don't have DeMarcus Ware, and I know they didn't add anybody to that defense, but they still have that three-headed monster. And that defense still should be shutting down people. Maybe not with the same tenacity that they were last year or the year before, but they're still the best defense in football. Maybe they could get lucky and stop Tom Brady, but when he's tossing the ball around to fucking Gronkowski and Dwayne Allen and the slew of wide receivers that nobody's ever heard of, but Tom Brady makes them look like they're all pro receivers every snap of the game. Like, what do you want? So there's my predictions, man. Everything I would have said. I mean, if I would have wrote a blog post and broke down every team, I would have looked at all their additions, all their subtractions, been able to make a more logical and well thought out and probably a more precise argument towards every team's success or lack thereof. But for now, man, just off the top of my head, not looking into any other team and just thinking about who I think a team has, who I think a team might surprise with, and all that stuff. That's where it is, man. The league looks pretty much the same as it did last season, at the end of the last season. What do you guys think, man? Start a debate in the comments. I don't care. I love it. I know in 17 weeks I'm probably going to say, hey, we should look at the conference finals from our Madden franchise and see what I talked about and see if maybe got some things wrong. And I definitely did.
I know the focus is LaShawn McCoy here, but the defense is doing a really nice job. He's nowhere near his normal yardage total in this game.
Must be Tyrod Taylor got hurt or something. That's a fumble. Man, they're lucky he picked that up. 4th and 21st.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual.
That's Troy. If he didn't try to scramble right there.
This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him.
They need a defensive stop. They can't let us score and get 2 possessions ahead of them.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
All right, that's a touchback. Let's go get it.
The 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical.
Dylan had that one big, like, 50-yard run, and outside of that, he's been completely neutralized.
But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense.
Both offenses are about stalemated right now. Pribble catches it. Doesn't go anywhere with it, though.
Let's see if the offense gets done. Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
Ricks had 5 targets and only caught 2 of them. That's not what you usually see out of him.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Their defense has been sneaky good, man. AVG's had a huge game. 12 for 19, 188 yards at halftime, basically, and that's not bad. The 6th punt. Compare that to the last game where the other team didn't have a single punt return.
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands.
We might not see the Super Bowl. I might have underestimated this Buffalo Bills team, guys.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, With the game this close,
E.J. Manuel, 200 passing yards.
Right now, but they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
To Stevie Johnson.
Yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
They come up in an offset eye. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon.
16 touches. He's only averaging 2 yards a carry, but Colton Colby with the second tackle.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side.
Is it audible?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle and caught by the tight
Man, E.J. Manuel is really picking apart the defense.
Sets him up better for third down.
Surprising. I mean, especially after seeing what we did to Phillip Rivers last week, I thought our defense would be riding that highway momentum, but maybe we're burnt out after beating up on Phillip Rivers. I don't know. But E.J. Manuel is looking a lot like Russell Wilson or something right now, man. He's on pace for like 400 yards. He's moving the chains. He's no interceptions. I don't think there's any turnovers yet. Maybe we got a fumble recovery earlier. I don't know. I was talking so much about regular football that I haven't been focusing too much on this fake football game. I'm sorry.
Not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
So let's see here. We need to stop, man, because if they score even a field goal, this game gets a little too close, and that's another fumble. They've had a lot of fumbles, but for the most part, they've been able to mitigate the damage from them.
Whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing they're calling.
What a game, man. And that's Troy again. He's been putting pressure on Manuel, but he hasn't cracked yet.
Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
2nd and 13. And eventually, I think they have to stop going for that play action because Troy is just getting back there. Couple of yards. 1 yard. When you look at that, and E.J. Manuel and Jeffrey Thompson. E.J. Manuel is winning that battle right now. We might be winning the game. But what, we got 1 touchdown? They got 1 touchdown. The rest of it comes down to field goals. Overthrew it. And now they're going to have to punt it. And with our big play capabilities, maybe we could break open this game.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
Here we go.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like
Dylan cooled down pretty quick. He had that big run, and then ever since he hasn't done anything. And gets 2 or 3 there, but
you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to pump the ball, they've done so with that first run.
From deep in their own
play action, and I'm sacked. Safety.
This is going to wind up a safety.
These Bills, man.
And on that one, the youngster got caught.
They might be our kryptonite.
A little too long in his own end zone.
And Brandon, you know how we always talk about the clock that a quarterback.
And you see here, I just didn't have any open guys. Guy on Jordan, guy on Rick, guy on AVG. AVG, man, right there he might have been open, but by then it was too late. I mean, he got into that pocket. Preston Brown with a safety.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the
and Corey gets to punt it. Wow.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone.
And Watkins, man, and jukes out 4 or 5 guys. If he breaks through there, he probably has a touchdown.
And now out come the Bills. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
Our defense needs to force a turnover here to just seal the deal.
You're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow,
E.J. Manuel.
Stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Here we go. Shady McCoy. Did he move the chains? Yep. John Pribble rushed in to stop him. And I think if John didn't get him, Devin Yoakum was right there waiting anyway. I think either way he wasn't getting much further than that. Moving the chains, man. They've been effective. Shady, 6-7 yards. If he didn't start running backwards, he would have had a few more. Devin Yoakum stops him there.
And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the second.
They're just like one explosive play away from taking this game in their control. And McCoy keeps the chains moving. 20 rushes, 50 yards. He hasn't been able to break free, but he's been doing just good enough to keep the chains moving, doing just good enough to keep them from being in a huge deficit, keeping the clock moving.
In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
I mean, against our defense, his performance is all you could ask for, really. Can't ask for much more. I don't know how many if any really running backs have really broken free and beaten us up.
He hits Greg, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. So they complete the pass and now they face a second down.
When you execute
Greg and 5 yards there. That's what this offense has been doing, and that's what teams should have been doing against us all season. Trying to get the short play, not trying to get the long play every time. You go for the long play, that's when you get Gavin and Sean and Devin and Talon, and man, our secondary is so sick. Our linebacker core right now is where we're weak. And there's Woods. That's the first down. They're in field goal range now. This is a 1-point game.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space.
Unless we get a sack, unless we get a turnover. This game just got even closer, I think.
They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're doing the tried and true formula that's just been working for them all game. They've slowly been picking apart. We were up 16-0, and they stuck with their game plan. They didn't try to force anything. They didn't do what the Broncos did, that's for sure. They didn't try to force themselves to get back into the game. They knew if they just kept picking at it, they could get back into it, and that's where they are now. And we're in the last quarter, and it's anybody's game, and how many times has that been the exact opposite that I've been saying?
The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4.
We need to come up big.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Ooh. John, you might have been able to catch that and end this game, man. Not end it, but give us a chance to end it. He overthrew his receiver, and I think if John dove, he could have caught it.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing
5 targets, 4 catches. That kind of efficiency. This offense is just...
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And they didn't force it. Did they get the first down?
It's a gain of 5.
4th and inches. Do they go for it? I think they should. Welcome to the stream, viewer number 3. Leave some comments. Tell me that I got big balls. And they're going for it. Hard to blame them, dude. Now, can they do it? They did it. First down. This offense is...
4th and 1. This is what fullbacks live for. They're always the guys with all the marks on their helmets because they love sticking their heads in there to fight.
We were up 16-0 for the guy who just joined to watch the stream. We were up 16-0, and they've been picking us apart with 4 or 5 yard plays. Crazily efficient. Making no mistakes. No turnovers, I don't think. Like I said earlier, I might have missed a fumble. But as far as I know, I don't think there's been any turnovers, and they've just been picking apart our defense slowly, consistently. There it is again. Shady McCoy just got into the 3 yard line. And look what E.J. Manuel is doing. 20 for 28. Devin, why did you just 5-star frog splash him? Backpedaling the whole way, makes the right throw, and Shady just breaks one tackle, well, misses one tackle, and then Devin just jumps on him. Here we go.
Endless drive continues. They'll try and run it with McCoy. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6.
There we go.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And we were the 4th best team at causing turnovers in the regular season, and they have no turnovers. That just confirmed my suspicions.
They'll try again with McCoy.
And McCoy, he's 1 yard line.
5 yards on the pickup.
We might not be going to the Super Bowl, guys.
Well, Brennan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1.
This is the quintessential play. And was that false start?
One of the Bills got going a little early.
That might have been clutch.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
Oh, giving me an ulcer defense. Sack him. They got an open man to the left, and they didn't go to him. Thank you. Thank you.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th.
They're going for it.
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Chargers
he had it in his hands.
down near the goal line. So a tough pill to swallow there.
He should have caught that. Right there. Nobody hit him as he was going for it. He just dropped it. Thank God. Oh. What a stark contrast to the 55-7 destruction of the Denver Broncos we just issued.
Offense gets set, they head back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs. Sure. just messes things up for you.
Both teams playing an efficient offense.
Take it, set it aside.
Neither team able to really get anything going with their running game.
2nd and 8. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground.
AVG has been big time for us on offense. He's without a doubt probably our most standout offensive player. Not that I've been doing bad, but outside of my passes to AVG, what have I been doing? And wow, he almost came up for us again there. And EJ Manuel is realistically outshining me right now. And yeah, we need to come up big here. We need a 3rd and 8 conversion. We cannot get them the ball at the 50. Let me read that comment. Thank you, Keylock. That means a lot to me too. I'll along with the other guys who commented here, I will be glad to give you a subscribe back. Thank you.
The play clock's running down.
And we're punting it. Corey's got such a nice leg on him, dude. Glad I created him that way.
Fielded at about the 28. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt.
I guess they don't have the best field position. Maybe they could be tired after last drive.
And last drive they went with the bend but don't break mentality. The offense drove it down there on them, but they were able to get the stop.
And they were able to do so, it appeared, because they'd done a great job of
10 minutes left.
And then everyone buying into the scouting report, understanding tendencies, being prepared. 11 guys.
Yeah, I'll sub to you after this game, man. Trying to focus on the gameplay here. Try to keep the commentary flowing a little bit better. Going to your page and finding the subscribe button and then going back to the stream might be a bit of a distraction when I'm trying to watch fake football. I love you. Ooh. Thought maybe that was going to be the first big mistake at their offense. It's worth noting, though, that he did have an open man 2 plays ago now, and he failed to find him. 3rd and 10. Shady drops it. I think they punt it here.
Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on to punt for Buffalo.
Still anybody's game.
I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And now San Diego getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Steve Lunan gets 6 or 7, and I finally cracked 200 passing yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space.
We're getting outplayed by their offense right now.
Good timing. And they got it done.
Now let's go. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll set up a throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing.
No open guys. Their secondary is doing a good job. Ever since that first quarter, they've been doing a fantastic job at locking up AVG and Eric.
Sometimes it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time.
Crazy efficient defense.
And set himself to throw the ball, and as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Only allowing 1 touchdown from a team that just scored 55 points on arguably the best defense in football. And still no open guy. Still have to throw it away. 14 for 24. One of my more inefficient games in terms of finding the open man.
They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run
successfully. In a minute and a half, the ball's already transferred over back and forth twice. Both teams trying to make some magic happen.
open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before.
They are a big play away from winning this game, or just a long drive.
How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those
They're going for it.
plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and
He
do something big and get things done in the
Why?
segment area.
Sammy Watkins.
Oh, he didn't catch it. I was just gonna say, he just tipped it right into his hands.
Defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Oh, and he couldn't hold on to it.
Success. Finally,
I know.
someone said, "Let's try
I know I shouldn't be saying because that happened to the other team, but that was crazy, man. John just like slaps it back to him like, "Here you go, man. Catch this, man."
Now they go screen. It's complete. And
There we go.
blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's
Fantastic.
a loss of 2, now third down.
Time to give a little credit here.
All right, 3rd and 12.
Excellent read by the guys on the defense.
I like our chances here to stop him one more time.
Credit them on that one because
And eventually our offense is going to find an opening and just end this, I think.
they smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Flag, that's a holding.
And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Good stuff.
Here's Colton Schmidt now. Standing right on his own 5-yard line.
So 3 minutes, neither team has been able to find a first down. Both teams have had 2 possessions.
Did they keep it in? They did. They
On the
kept it
1-yard
in.
line.
Down
Their
close
punter has
to
done that
the
twice to us.
1-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there. for
Some
the
field
next
general,
possession.
3 and 7.
And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half.
We're in the
but
safety
you also
land
have to
right
like
now.
The fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and
There's
rolling.
Marshall Brown.
They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of
Marshall
trouble.
Brown, 4 catches, 28 yards. No touchdowns.
Against his own defense.
Marshall Brown has not found the end zone at all in the 17 games we played. This is the 18th game we played. 18 games, no touchdowns. From one of the more heavily favored receivers in the offense. I think he's, what, 3rd on the team in catches? Maybe 4th? There's Dilly. He gets the first down.
It's really effective.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move.
He's averaging 5.5 yards.
That's a nice pickup of a
But most of that came from that 150-yard run.
yardage gain. They can run that plan any down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Our 41st play of the game.
Pistol here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What a balanced game in terms of offenses this game has been, dude.
What they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going.
Pup.
But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked
I love
up
you,
to the line of
puppy.
scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Play clock winding down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got him.
Oh, I told you. Eventually we were going to open the seam and go for it. And that might have been it. 83 yards. Eric Thompson.
82 yards. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much
Thompson to Thompson.
space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go
And that's a good job at not trying to force the big play, just letting it happen, waiting for it to happen, knowing that it's going to happen eventually. And then once it's there,
there's no
go for it.
catching 'em. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago. Trust me.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a San Diego score. kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
No, they might be able to get a big gain here, and
take this across the
Cody Putney just clotheslined him.
Up to the 27-yard line. The Chargers defense gearing up to take the field. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. Who said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short.
He's going for it.
Finding time. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're trying for that big play. They know they need it.
Receiver that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long.
My doggo is the best doggo.
But they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. He's got time. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets.
You know, he was 20 and 28, and now he's gone, what, 10 and 2? 2 for 10 since?
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for the
Sean McIntosh for this 4th tackle.
Alone on the left side. Here's Manuel. This is Johnson. He's got it. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Little under 4 minutes left. 11-point game.
Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll be taken down.
And when are they going to start going to the no huddle?
45 in enemy territory. And with that
300 yards for E.J. Manuel.
That 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence.
3 minutes, 11 points. They're moving the chains. Our defense has had a hard time with this team. Manuel's going.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this time not quite to the 30, it'll be down.
2-minute warning.
1-yard line. Time for a break.
They might have burned out too much time. They should have went for the no huddle for the last 2 minutes that they've had the ball. Man.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Back to throw now on first down. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Here's the no huddle.
And now they're in the hurry up. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he slides to avoid the hit. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it second and short.
Is E.J. Manuel suddenly becoming like a god?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
There we go.
There, incomplete.
I mean, it's an 11-point game, and there's only 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Granted, they have all 3 of their timeouts. But if they get a field goal, get the onside kick, or even force 3 and out, they're realistically still in this game.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1, and he'll check this one down to McCoy.
Call timeout.
First down before he's brought down at the 3. And quickly they get to the line. Here's Manuel.
He's beat.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal. Now Manuel. He's got time in the pocket. And he just chucked that.
Man, our secondary is just too good. We will not let them get that pass.
In this part of the field, it brings up 3rd down. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, I don't need 6. It would just make a comeback much easier.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal.
He had it again. Second time Watkins has had that happen to him.
No 6 points, incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Carpenter knocks it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like...
All we need is 1 first down, and we end this game.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll give it to him right up the gut.
Dylan, do it.
And able to break one.
Almost.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout.
We're only inches. We are inches away from closing this game out. I think 32 yards is Damien's field goal range anyway. I think we just won this game. We had to fight for this one, though. After blowing out the Broncos by 50 points, we win by single digits here.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
Oh.
He can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Maybe not.
The Bills will take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here.
Why did we run?
Room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Now hang on.
So,
timeout called.
Is this field goal range?
It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
If it's field goal range,
all right, so the timeout
which we're going for.
11 men back out onto the field for the defense.
Now, how long is this field goal?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
No. No.
Traffic, and now he's free. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go.
We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of a long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the
if they get this too,
where they didn't create a penalty. Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone
who got
will
that?
Below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
What a game, guys. The first turnover of this game is on a 60-yard field goal. Shady McCoy's open. And he dropped it.
It's incomplete. They got the touchdown. Could not, however, get the 2-point conversion.
How do you have that bad of luck? Shady McCoy, nobody on him. Nobody on him. Drops The game-tying 2-point conversion with 20 seconds and no timeouts remaining.
And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football.
And we win.
They had to go for it.
Holy shit, guys. Holy shit. That could have gone any way. The Bills played perfectly to counter us. And we're going to take a knee here, and we're going to call it a game. I'm going to go ahead and start the second game up right away. I'll do both box scores another time. And Super Bowl time, guys. Super Bowl time.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf.
I did not anticipate the Bills, led by E.J. Manuel, to give us this much trouble, guys. Very, very good game. Ugh. They almost had us, guys. They almost had us. That we were that one big pass by Eric. That was what. There's AVG's big one-handed catch. They didn't even show his touchdown. That was his touchdown right there. There's Rick's touchdown.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew.
Bro, E.J. Manuel did really well. All right, I'm going to wrap up this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And the Super Bowl is coming in less than 5 minutes. Get ready.